How's it going, everyone? You'll have to forgive the audio quality. I'm not a YouTube person, this is probably quite poor. But I had an awful lot of fun with this, so I did want to share it. Uh, After the rank reset a while ago, I've forgotten how long ago that was, I wanted to do something a little bit goofy and messy to see if I could get into S rank with it. And as you can see there, it did. So what I went for was something very missile heavy, very kick heavy, and using one of my favourite melee weapons, quasi melee weapon, I suppose, given that it doesn't behave quite like any of the rest of the melee weapons, the explosive thrower. So I'll take you through the build and explain kind of the broad strategy. So what we have here in terms of weapons is three different sets of missiles. So I went with the aperitif, the 10 pack back launcher, and the 16 pack split missile launcher. So the rationale for the three different ones of those is basically they kind of cover three different bases and synergize quite nicely. The aperitif, it'll hang in the air while your enemy is dodging around the other missiles, which go out quite fast. Those can maybe catch them as they've expended a bit of their energy. The 10 pack, that's a very direct one, so that just fires almost directly, almost instantly in front of you. So if you're actually out of energy for kicking, if your explosive thrower is on cooldown, that can do a moderate little bit of punishing if you manage to stagger an enemy. And then lastly, the split 16 launcher. Because they split in the air, I've found that they've got a good ability to kind of modify their trajectory. So, like once they split open, they can actually almost do a 180 and catch someone who's gone in a complete different direction. Uh, so, the strategy broadly is you advance, fire all of these almost all at once. You'll probably see in the clips, they almost all go at once. You land a kick, which will immobilize them that little bit that makes the missiles so much more likely to hit. They will definitely have procced stagger by then. You hit them with your explosive thrower. And then what I found, so I kind of come to this from a Souls game PvP background. You can kind of do what is functionally kind of like a roll catch in Souls games, where after they've recovered from their staggered animation, if you time it right and if you time your angles just about right, you can actually just get in a second kick, which unfortunately, because it's done so soon, won't be accruing stagger build up. But it will still be getting in a nice little bit of damage. And by the time that second kick is done, your explosive thrower will probably be reset, so you can throw out one of those, usually reliably land it after someone's been kicked, since they get like a kind of a micro stagger. And that's a nice little bit of stagger built up that can then be built upon with your next volley of missiles, which are probably refreshed by then. In terms of the body parts, the frame parts, it's mostly just beefy and stat efficient stuff. So core of it is probably the spring chicken legs because they'll do the most damage out of your kicks. Basho arms just because they're very stat efficient, not using them because they increase melee damage because that actually doesn't affect the explosive thrower at all. The V40A is very energy efficient. It gives you, as you can see there, I've got an EN supply efficiency of over 5,000, so that's, quite useful. And the VP44D, I just like it. It's got good AP, it's got good attitude stability, the best attitude stability, and that's a big priority. Lastly, then, in terms of the inner parts, I use the Alula because it helps me out best in terms of assault boosting. You don't need anything with a particularly good melee attack thrust because that's not how the explosive thrower behaves. The FCS, you only need something that affects your missiles. I saw someone online saying that perhaps FPSs affect the accuracy of kicks. I have no idea if that's true. If anybody knows, you could maybe tell me. And finally, the Santai, it just gives you a lot of EN capacity to work with, so I like that. And lastly, pulse armor. While it is something that it gets in close range, I just find pulse armor has more utility than assault armor. Especially if you're up against someone with assault armor, you can kind of retreat and ping them with missiles while you set up your pulse armor, so it's quite a safe build in terms of using pulse armor. So yeah, I'll show you the fights here now. Unfortunately, I did kind of get railroaded into quite a few fights. I think maybe 6 or 7, possibly more, with just the same guy again and again. However, his was a pretty good S rank build. I can see why he's using it as at S rank, and it was still able to hold its own. It was clean 8 fights that got me into S rank, so no losses or whatever. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy them.
Really don't mind if you sit this one out. My words but a whisper, your deafness a shout. I may make you feel, but I can't make you think. Yes, burns in the gutter, in the sink. So your mind as the last wave uncovers the newfangled way. But your new shoes are worn with ease, and your suntan is rapidly freezing. So far away.
At 30%.
Spin me back down and the day. Draw the face and black curtains, shut out. Spin me down the long ages, let them sing the song. your doings aren't done. And you laugh most ruthlessly as you tell us what not to be. But how are we supposed to see where we should run? Da, 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 da. shoes. Laying at the hard case, you follow the example of the comic paper idol who lets you bend the rules. So come on, you child of heroes, won't you rise up from the pages of your comic books, your super crooks, and show us all the way. Well, make your will and testament, won't you join